Hello, this is Nick with nickscomputerfix.com, and here's a quick video on the unboxing and review of the Acer Aspire TC 865. And we're going to go ahead and get my knife here and open this desktop up. Now, a lot of people say the desktops don't sell too much anymore, but this particular model, they've sold a couple of million of them. Okay, we went ahead and took some of that packaging out. Let's see if I can pull the actual desktop out. Nice and easy there. Put that to the side and see what else is in the box. We have the typical Acer keyboard, and then we have also the typical Acer wired mouse and power plug there that's normal for desktops. All right, and let's see, what else do we have in here? We got some paperwork. I'll take a look at that in a little bit. And the last thing is something that was included as a bonus with this particular model, and that was a set of USB speakers. And they can't be worth too much, but we'll take a look at them a little bit later. And the Acer mouse here is your typical wire optical mouse. They've included the mouse and keyboard with the desktop, with Acer desktops, that is, for many years. The same one, I think probably a good 5 years, they've been including the same keyboard and mouse with their desktops. All right, they must work, and they do. And then, of course, we have the normal power plug there. All right, back to the USB speakers here that were included as a bonus. Let me pop those out of the box here. And they're small, let me tell you that, but they got a little bit of weight to them. So I'll be surprised if they might have a little bit of decent sound to them. I'll check those out a little bit later. Okay, let's go ahead and take the plastic wrap off of the desktop here. By the way, the dimensions on this desktop, height, width, and depth, are 13.39 by 6.42 by 13.78. So it's a nice little small footprint for a desktop, which is really nice. It's a good space saver. Up here in the corner we have a power switch with an LED light, and then we have the DVD drive, which is an 8X, by the way. And then we have a SD card reader. We have a USB 3.1 Type C, and then we have a USB 3.1 Gen 2, and then we have a 3.5 audio out and a mic in jack as well. And then we have a grill here. Actually, it's a fake grill. Let me take this plastic cover off. There's no air holes going through here. It's simply for looks, and in my opinion gives it a nice appearance so that it doesn't look so plain. All right, let's go ahead and turn this desktop around here and take a look at the rear. Up top is where the PSU is, and it's a 300-watt power supply. And then we have a grill right here. It has no fan, but you can put a case fan in if you want. We have two HDMI ports. We have a VGA port. We have some USB 2.0 ports, and we have some two USB 3.1 ports, and we also have an Ethernet port, and then we have 3 jacks for the audio in, out, and device. And also, let me point out 3 expansion slots here, and you can certainly see that it can accommodate another video card if you like to put one in. However, I suspect that the 300-watt PSU cannot accommodate anything greater than a GT 1030 or maybe even a 1050 without first upgrading the power supply to at least a 400, maybe a 500. All right, let's go ahead and take a look on the side here. We have some specs. This Acer TC 865 comes with Windows 10 Home 64-bit, 8th Gen Intel Core i5 processor, the 8400 model. Comes with 630 graphics from Intel, 8 gigabytes of DDR RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, and that's a mechanical drive, by the way, a DVD rewritable drive, a card reader, 802.11 AC wireless networking, and also Bluetooth, by the way. And you know, that's not too bad for a you know, very reasonably priced desktop here. This thing came in below 450 for my total costs. All right, let's go ahead and point out that this has an extra large grill on the side here to accommodate plenty of airflow to the CPU. And on the other side, we have a tag that basically gives me the serial number and part number. All right, let's go ahead and unscrew the lid here and take a look inside. I'm always curious about what the insides look like, and I hope that you do too as well. Now inside the case here is pretty much typical what a desktop looks like inside. You have your power supply, in this case to the left here, and in the center you have your processor and your fan on top keeping the processor cool, and then you have two slots here for RAM. Presently one is being used, and as I mentioned on the specs, it has 8 gigabytes that is included with this desktop, and to the right we have expansion slots. Okay, and then up front we have the CD-ROM drive and the hard drive as well. All right, let's go ahead and check out some performance aspects of this desktop. Okay, I went ahead and closed up the case and installed and configured Windows 10 Home 64-bit operating system on here. I also installed two free apps, CPU ID, CPU Z, and Flashback Screen Recorder. Okay, let's go down to the Start menu here and right click and go up and click on System. That opens up the About Information page, and as you can see we have the Intel processor i5-8400 CPU installed on here with a base frequency of 2.8, 2.81. We have 8 gigabytes of installed RAM, and we are running Windows 10 Home 1903. Let's go ahead and take a look in Device Manager, and as you can see we are running we have an installed WD Western Digital 1 terabyte drive. We have a DVD drive installed, and if we go down here to sound, you can see we have Realtek audio. And let's see, what else can we see in here? We can see that we have a network adapter from Intel, wireless AC installed, and also Ethernet is installed on here as well too. All right, one last thing, let's take a look at processors, and again they're all running at a base frequency of 2.80 gigahertz. Okay, let's go ahead and close this out, and we'll go into Task Manager, and under Performance tag we can see under the logical units we have 6 logical units here, and down here we have 6 cores, and we have 6 logical processors, which is totally awesome, which is going to be great for gameplay. Alright, let's open up CPU Z here, and we can see some information. Coffee Lake is the code name for this particular processor, the i5-8400. And let's see what else is some good information here. By the way, I am running this on high performance power settings. That's why you're seeing 3.8, 3.9 there. And we have 9 megabytes of L3 level 3 cache, which is great. Under the board here, motherboard, we do have the Aspire TC865. And if we look at memory here, you can see we have 8 gigabytes installed of DDR4, and it's running at speed of 2666, and that's really good speed. Alright, graphics is the 630, and that's not much to talk about. Sorry about that, Intel. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some benchmarks here, since CPU-Z allows us to do that. And the first one up to do a benchmark on, let's go ahead and click on an AMD Ryzen 7 1700, and we'll benchmark that and see how that comes out against the Intel i5-8400. and we are done. And as you can see on the single core or single thread, Intel beat the AMD by not by much. However, the AMD beat the Intel by a large amount on the multi-thread. Okay, one more benchmark with the CPU-Z program here. Let's pick on an Intel i7 7700 CPU, and we'll see how that benchmarks against the i5 8400. And as you can see from the results here, the i5 8400 is only slightly slower than the i7 from the 7th generation, not only on the single thread but also on the multi-thread. So that's pretty amazing how fast this i5 8400 is. I think it's going to be great for gameplay. Let me move this over here. All right, next thing that I want to go ahead and do is open up something on the internet here. It's called User Benchmark. If you're not familiar with this, I definitely recommend going out and checking it out. It's non-invasive. You can download this program and run it, and it gives you some great results. And also you are allowed to compare it to other users who have uploaded their results to User Benchmark as well, and see where you stand with your computer. Okay, that's finished. So let's go ahead and take a look at the performance results of this computer here. The PC status is basically performing as expected. It ranks in the 51st percentile. The processor is brilliant in single core. The graphics is very poor. That's expected for the Intel 630. The hard drive is mechanical, so it's not so great. 8 gigabytes is enough RAM to run most apps and games, but more is better, and it's running the latest Windows 10 version, which is, important. And one thing that I do want to make a point here, one or two things. The hard drive is mechanical. It can definitely improve the performance by moving or upgrading it to an SSD. And again, adding more memory is always a great idea. Okay, we've come to the end of the performance results as well as to the end of this unboxing and review of the Acer Aspire TC865. But first, let me leave you with a couple of thoughts. The first one is that it runs very quiet. It also has a very small space saver footprint, which I like a lot. The case seems to be well made, and the overall performance of this desktop computer from Acer is very good. It went beyond my initial expectations. I believe the i5 8400 is a great CPU from Intel that will work really well with most games out there, and certainly applications as well. So overall, I like this desktop, and I think it's a keeper. The only thing I would recommend that you might want to consider is adding or upgrading a video card to it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like, and leave a like if you like.